Men don't choose the perfect woman, they choose this kind instead. You know what so many women struggle with but rarely admit out loud? It is the feeling that no matter how much effort they put in, no matter how much they try to be the best version of themselves, men always seem to look right past them. You might notice it when you see a man chase after someone who does not seem as polished as you, or when you realize that a man who once seemed so interested in you is suddenly giving his attention to someone else who does not check half the boxes you thought mattered. That can leave you asking yourself a painful question. What is it that men really want? And why does it seem like being the perfect woman is never enough? This is the problem so many women face. The idea of perfection feels like the safe road. You tell yourself if you look good enough, stay fit, take care of your career, keep your life in order, then surely a man will notice. But then you realize that men do not always choose the woman who appears perfect. They choose differently. And that gap between your effort and the outcome can feel exhausting. You start to wonder if you are missing something. If maybe you are doing it all wrong. Or worse, if maybe something is wrong with you. The truth is, there is nothing wrong with you. But there is a misunderstanding about how men choose. And until you see that clearly, you will keep pushing yourself into a cycle that only drains you. The harder you try to hold up this image of perfection, the further away real connection seems to slip. And when you keep ignoring that pattern, you end up feeling invisible even when you are doing everything right. That invisibility hurts, because deep down, every woman wants to feel seen, cherished, and chosen for who she truly is. Now think about this for a moment. How many times have you seen a woman who does not have the so-called perfect body or the perfect life? Yet men are drawn to her. They laugh with her. They want to be around her. They commit to her. At first, you may feel confused. You think, she is not even doing half of what I am doing. She is not as ambitious, not as polished, not as flawless. And yet men are captivated by her. This confusion stings because it makes you question whether all your effort even matters. Here is where the agitation comes in. If you continue to believe that perfection is the key, you will only find yourself more and more frustrated, because perfection can feel cold. It can feel distant. It creates pressure. And men are not looking for a woman who makes them feel like they are walking on eggshells. They are not searching for someone who looks like she has everything figured out and needs nothing from them. When you hold up perfection as your standard, you unintentionally create a wall. That wall keeps real intimacy from growing. It leaves men admiring you from a distance, but never truly stepping closer. They may respect you. They may even envy your life. But respect and envy are not the same as love and commitment. And the longer this pattern goes on, the more it eats away at your self-worth. You start comparing yourself to other women even more. You ask yourself why she got chosen and you did not. You start to believe that maybe you need to try harder, to be even more perfect. You work on your appearance, you polish your skills, you push yourself further in your career. But instead of bringing you closer to what you want, it only makes you feel more isolated. Because the truth is, men are not choosing perfection. And if you keep chasing perfection as your ticket to love, you will only push the very thing you want further away. So what do men actually choose? What is it that makes them give their heart to one woman and not another? It is not about the perfect look, or the perfect lifestyle, or the perfect list of qualities. Men choose the woman who makes them feel alive. They choose the woman who brings warmth, ease, and connection into their life. They choose the woman who makes them feel safe to be themselves without judgment. It is less about what she looks like on the outside and more about how he feels when he is around her. This is the solution that so many women overlook. Men do not want the perfect woman. They want the woman who lets them breathe, who brings them comfort, who makes them feel like they can put their guard down. A man may admire the woman who looks flawless, but he will choose the woman who makes him feel free, because in a world that constantly demands men to be strong, to be in control, to never show weakness. The woman who gives him space to be human becomes priceless. Think about it. When a man meets a woman who laughs easily, who does not turn every small mistake into a crisis, who can be light-hearted but also deeply caring, she becomes magnetic. When he senses that she is not trying to be perfect, but is instead being genuine, he feels at home with her. He realizes he does not need to perform. He does not need to earn her approval with flawless behavior. He can simply be himself. And that feeling is powerful, because men, just like women, are searching for a place where they can drop the mask and still be loved. This is why men often choose the woman who seems effortless over the one who seems perfect. It is not about lowering standards. It is about emotional safety. Imagine being with someone who constantly reminds you of how high the bar is, how much you need to measure up. It is exhausting. Now imagine being with someone who sees your flaws, laughs at your little mistakes, and still accepts you fully. That is the difference, and that is what men are drawn to. So if you have been striving to be the perfect woman, I want you to pause. Ask yourself, are you giving men a chance to experience the real you? Or are you hiding behind an image you think they want? Or are you allowing space for warmth, playfulness, and vulnerability? Or are you so focused on impressing that you forget to connect? Because connection is what men truly crave. That is what they will choose every single time. You may be thinking, but does that mean I should stop caring about myself? Should I just stop trying? Absolutely not. Taking care of yourself is important. Ambition is beautiful, growth is powerful. But those things are meant to support you, not define your worth. They should make you feel stronger and happier within, not serve as a mask to convince someone to choose you. When you let go of the pressure to be perfect, you actually become more attractive, because you are real, and real is what men can fall in love with. So the next time you catch yourself overthinking how you look, or whether you said the perfect thing, or if you are doing enough to keep a man's interest, take a deep breath. Remind yourself that men do not choose the perfect woman. They choose the woman who makes them feel connected. They choose the woman who makes their life lighter instead of heavier. They choose the woman who shows up with honesty instead of with an image. And here is something important to remember. You cannot fake this. Men can sense when you are pretending to be carefree while actually being full of pressure inside. The shift has to be real. It has to start with how you see yourself. When you decide that you are already enough as you are. When you believe that your flaws and imperfections are not weaknesses but human traits. Then your presence changes. You radiate ease. And that ease is exactly what draws men in. This is where hope comes in. You do not need to compete with anyone else. You do not need to fight to prove you are the best. You only need to allow yourself to be real, to laugh when something is funny, to cry when you feel hurt, to share your thoughts without rehearsing them until they sound perfect. That realness is what creates intimacy. That realness is what makes a man look at you and think, she is the one I want to come home to. Not because she is flawless, but because she feels like home. And when you give yourself permission to live this way, you also free yourself from the constant pressure that weighs you down. You begin to enjoy your own life more. You start to see that love is not about performance, it is about connection. And in that space, men can finally step closer to you. They can finally see you. Not just the image you put forward, they can choose you. Not the version of you that you thought had to be perfect. So let this truth sink in. Men do not choose the perfect woman. They choose the woman who makes them feel loved for who they are. They choose the woman who offers acceptance instead of judgment. They choose the woman who is present, genuine, and kind. That is the kind they give their heart to. And that is the kind you already have the power to be. Not by working harder, not by polishing every detail, but by trusting that who you are is already enough. When you embrace this, you not only open the door to love, you also step into a more peaceful way of living. You stop exhausting yourself with impossible standards. You stop comparing yourself endlessly. You begin to experience relationships from a place of joy rather than fear. And that is what changes everything. Because once you believe you are enough, you will see that men do not need you to be perfect. They just need you to be real. And real is what they will always choose.